try that again. See if it crashes this time. So irritating. I'm almost in there. See if it comes back. That's not Lloyd Montana. La 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 da, da da da. Alright, I'm hoping it's working this time. It would be nice. Crazily, I am tethered to my phone, which is on my windowsill, to get a better reception than using the Wi-Fi in my house. Don't you love how that works? Anyway, fingers crossed. It will be better now. Not all in one go, mate. Not all in one go. I actually just got a new webcam today, so I'm doing this to test it. So far, it's failed miserably because YouTube crashed on me, which is not the most helpful thing. But yeah, I'll build this over a few nights. I've got 3 bags of bits out. I'll see how I go because it is late and I don't want to like spend my entire weekend in a coma. So I'll build some of this now and I'll build some more tomorrow. You know, I usually do my stream on Saturday night before you guys do yours. So, but have you got this set? I'm also not sure anyone's actually going to be around. It's not really sort of the best time to be streaming. I might get some Australian people, but it's a tricky one. I think everyone in the UK is at work. A lot of people in Europe will be at work. I got it in a, I always loved this set, and it was one I found after it had been discontinued. I actually found a shop that had 10 of them in stock, and they actually had it on sale because they had too many of them still. So I got one, which was very lucky, I think, but made me very happy because I think this is actually maybe one of the best Ninjago sets ever, if not the best set ever. Obviously, present company accepted. You're the Ninjago movie set, talking to my Ninjago City. Yeah, I was quite lucky. I was lucky to find it. It wasn't like a massive discount, but it was enough to go, yeah, I can justify that. Oh, I couldn't really, but I did. You know how it is. Is it too bright? I do have a I do have my how do I turn this off? Is that better? That's too dark now, isn't it? Oh no, that's really dark now. Let's see what we can do. That's better. Yeah. Yeah, I got a bit fed up with using my SLR to do my live streams because it was a bit inconvenient, and the other day it ran out of battery as well because you can't plug it in while you're using it. And I've been thinking about getting a webcam, and I was chatting to Jacob, and he's just got his webcam, and I was like, we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, just gonna do it because me and him are gonna do a stream soon as well. So just made sense. And so far, I think it was worth it. Yeah, I think it was worth the money to get a decent bit of equipment because I do want to do more live streams. So I got the Logitech C922. Hey Martin, how you going, man? That's cool. Look forward to seeing that one. Can I follow you? Hang on, just check your page. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So I got fed up of having really poor quality streams continually, and the pain in the butt of I had to use a piece of software on my had to use 2 pieces of software on my computer to get the camera to work in the first place. It's just like all messy and stuff. Whereas this is just plug it in and it goes. And I think the quality is awesome. Yeah, I was looking for the 920 because I thought it would be cheaper. But to be perfectly honest, it actually ended up being about a $10 saving over buying the new one because I found someone that had this one on not a huge sale, but enough of a sale to make it worth paying a little bit more for. So I was pretty happy. I've been selective. This is a set I love. I've always loved it. Oh, awesome. I love Voltron. Do you watch the cartoon? I'm guessing you watched the new cartoon. I'm actually 2 seasons behind on that. It just reminded me. I need to catch up on my Voltron. I think I stopped watching it in an attempt to not buy the Voltron set. And for the record, I got this in a sale, and I loved this set from the day it came out. And I finally, but when it came out, I was in my Lego Dark Ages, as they're called, and I wasn't buying Lego at the time, so I didn't get it. And it was a mistake I was quite keen to rectify, and I'm glad I did because they're now quite expensive on eBay. But I just think it's a magnificent set, and it's going to go really well with a mock I've got planned, which was part of the reason it was because of the mock that made me sort of make the final decision to get it. That's my excuse anyway. Oh, nice set. I did as well, Big Pasta. I did, although probably not as intensely as I would now, because I think when that was out originally, what was it? I think I was more into Transformers at that point. I think I was a Transformers person at that point. I mean, I still am a massive Transformers fan, except for the Michael Bay movies that make Transformers all flimsy and floppy and break and stuff. Have you watched BrickTubers? Have you watched the newest one? There's one more piece I was just put here. I think DreamWorks and Netflix have done an absolutely amazing job with the new Voltron. I think they've done an excellent job of keeping it in line with the original, but also making it really up to date. And I love the humor the whole way through. It is so just reminds me a lot of those sort of 80s cartoons, right? It's almost inappropriate, but it's not quite. I heard the new Bumblebee was okay, and that's because it's sort of gone back to being more like a proper Transformer rather than a flippy floppy Michael Bay one. I'm gonna have a slight rant here. I don't understand why Hollywood puts directors on movies who have no idea about the actual franchise they've been asked to work on. So Michael Bay didn't actually know anything about Transformers until he was asked to do the Transformers movie, which is just ridiculous. Forgot my glass of water. So far, I am happy with my new webcam. I was really only turning it on to test it, but I thought now I've got it on, I might as well just leave it on and see who's around. and also find out that my internet connection to this room is not very good still. I need to fix that. I'm going to have to get a power over Ethernet or something. It's the only way I'm going to be able to get decent internet down here, because when they put the internet into my house, they put it in the easiest / laziest way they could, which was basically next to the front door. Oh, Shira, I forgot about Shira. I shouldn't have said that, should I? I'd forgotten they did Shira, but maybe I'll check that one out too. I do love my cartoons. My eldest daughter Joss said to me tonight when I was putting her to bed, "Can we watch Ninjago in the morning?" She said, "Can I watch? Can I go with? Can I watch Ninjago in the morning?" I said, "Only if I can watch it with you." No, our internet is amazingly fast. Our internet's like 50 megs a second, no problem at all. The biggest problem is the Wi-Fi doesn't reach this one. Hey, Mark Brick. The Wi-Fi doesn't reach this end of the house very well is my problem. So yeah, unfortunately, that is my issue, which is why I'm thinking a power over Ethernet or a power over Ethernet Wi-Fi extender might work. I do have an older router I could connect up, but I'm just concerned it will slow down the whole network. 2, 4, 6, 7. So this is, sorry if anyone's, I've actually already built one of the outbuildings, which is the marketplace over here, which is an absolutely lovely build. It's given me some good ideas for my Ninjago area, because I want to do across the front of it. And my next city update, there's been progress on my Ninjago area, so I can actually talk about it finally rather than just sort of mentioning it. And if any of you follow me on my Instagram channel, which is GJ_Bricks, because somebody else got GJBricks, there's I've got, I think, a really good photo of it on there. Yeah, that's what I mean, Brick Pasta. So you can get that one, and you can get one that's like it does that, and then it becomes a Wi-Fi point, doesn't it? Or you can have it as just an Ethernet port. So yeah, no, they do make it for Australian ones, but I mean, being Australia, they're about 3 times the price of the rest of the world. I laugh, but it's true. Oh, I've got the autofocus to kick in. Hey, I like this camera. This is money well spent. It's much better than my SLR as well. I mean, even just looking at the stream, I can see the quality is so much better. I had read reviews of it, and I've been umming and ahhing about it. And to be perfectly honest, there aren't actually that many other webcams for sale here. I almost got the cheaper Logitech camera to sort of validate to myself that it was worthwhile spending the money on a webcam. But then I'd have been wasting half the money on not buying a good webcam. So just made sense to buy the good webcam in the first place. Amazing how you can justify things to yourself, isn't it? Dee dee. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, no, my main PC at the front, this is my laptop for work actually that I use for my own stuff, but my main iMac that's on its last legs sadly is going to have to be replaced soon. I'm going to let my wife pay for that upgrade because she's the one that uses it the most. But that is wired into wired straight into the router, because I have like an iTunes media server and stuff like that running on it, so it makes sense for that to be good. Can I make a small display mock with the Ninjago City Chase? Yeah, I've got the Ninjago City Chase. All right, look, hang on. you want to see what I've done so far with my Ninjago city? Hang on. Because I've got this small webcam, I can disconnect it and do this because it's easy. So that's my, let's see, there we go. That's my Ninjago district there. So you can see I've put the marble bridge next to it, like that. There we go. And then this is a water scene. So under there, I've built like, I'm starting to build, no, that's not working right now. There we go. So underneath there, is it dark? There we go. Can't really see it because of the fishing thing. There we go. So that's, I've got the Ninjago city, and then underneath there, I'm building a sort of market area. And then on that side over there is where Ninjago, the docks are going to go. So I've actually been making progress on it. I'm going to try and get some more of that done and then do a bit of a video on that one. I don't know when I'm going to build the docks, but the yeah, if you have a look at the photo on my Instagram channel, it like JC from Small Brick City commented and said it actually looks like it's part of the set the way I've joined it up. So I'm going to do a bit more work to improve it, but it works really well. And one thing I'm really happy with was, you know, Ninjago City is like the 3 levels. The middle level platform actually lines up absolutely 100% perfectly with the table behind it. So I'm very happy. So you literally, I've got my figure walking off the table onto Ninjago City perfectly. So behind that, I'm going to do a little market, like a little Asian market kind of, or Ninjago Asian inspired like market street. And then the mountain behind that, which is where this is going to go on top of that. So the mountain's going to, I'm going to not keep it like this. I'm going to dismantle it and actually have it in like stages. So the temple on the top, and then use the 2 outbuildings plus probably a couple of other ones I'll build as like a little village thing. So there'll be a pathway down, and then the train runs between it, and then there'll be a second sort of smaller mountain to the side where I'll probably put the monastery. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's the hardest thing I've ever built in Lego, but I think it's going to look pretty amazing if what's like what I'm thinking I can get to work. So, like I said, it's the hardest thing I've ever built in Lego. So it's probably going to take me a little while to actually do it right, the way I'm happy with it. But I will share that journey with everybody, which is why I'm keen to get this set done, because I've wanted to get that sort of whole area going for ages, because I think it's just going to be so cool. I've got enough sets and enough parts to keep me going for months at the moment. So I've even got enough parts now to start building my station too. So I've just got to decide which projects I want to do first. Yeah, no, I looked at it. I talked to JC quite a lot anyway. So yeah, he knows what I'm doing, and he's going to help me out a bit if I need to. But yeah, he did some really cool stuff. I found this GJBricks as well. I don't know if anyone knows the GJBricks discussion forum. But they had a they do like videos every, or they do like a theme every sort of I can't remember what day it is, but they do one periodically where they actually do market stalls. There's some really cool ones on there. It's a lot of fun. I went through that and got a couple of ideas as well. So I've started building out some. I've got like a sort of day market up here, but that will be a sort of Asian shop / theme market. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to do like the quarter size modulars, so not half size but quarter size, because I think that way I can do like some nice, get a nice selection of shops in there and have a lot of fun, and I don't have to sort of invest a massive amount of space either, because my city is quite big, but it's not that big. And I think that will change over time as well. I'll add bits to it and change it and stuff like that. So it's going to be quite a learning experience for myself, which again was part of the reason I did it. I don't usually, I'm not like a subscriber to or anything like that, but it came up in a search, and I again look at it when I do it. I've already got enough time steps with YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram, and Twitter, and Facebook. I'm on so many groups on Facebook. Actually, is quite worrying. Actually, the amount of time you could sink into a hobby. But I promised Joss I would do some building with her this weekend. We did do some building the other day, but I promised her we'd do a video as well because she's itching to do another video. So we've got another one of the Lego movie sets lined up to build. What's your other blog? Hey Toa, bye Toa. What's your other blog? Brick Pasta? I've put a freeze on buying Lego for 3 months. Like I bought way too much Lego recently. I've actually blown my budget a couple of times. So yeah, I've been spending my kids' inheritance. So I've decided I'm gonna try and be a grown up and not buy any more Lego for 3 months. I've got enough Lego to. Oh, cool. What kind of racing do you do? Like proper car racing or go-karts or radio controlled racing or I've got enough parts and enough of a backlog to not need to actually buy any Lego for a while. So well, that's pretty neat. There we go. Hold that. Let's see how that comes out. That's the an anvil in the middle there, neatly done. So it's coming along. Quite a good sized base you get. You can see my there's my spotlight. I have to hold it there so it doesn't drown everything. Motorcycle racing, crumbs. It's on my my list of things to do in my life is get a motorbike license, but having 3 children now has sort of made that less of a priority in my life. So I think sort of moving to the more genteel Lego was maybe a good idea in that respect. Eclipse Palace. Which one's Eclipse Palace? Oh. Give me a second, guys. My laptop's about to run out of power. Oh, always one thing or another. There we go. Sorted. Andy Briggs, how are you? There's more people around than I expected. Like I said, it's not really the best time to, like, this is Friday night here, obviously being Australia, but for everybody else, it's the middle of the day. There we go. And plug that in, and we should be back in business. There we go. Sorted. Yeah. I've got a load of mock tutorials to film as well. I've got some stuff I've done that I haven't actually gotten around to filming myself. So yeah, but I know what you mean. I mean, JC's a prolific, a prolific tutorial maker. Man, he's got a lot of time. I wish I had that much time. I'd say if I had as much time as he's got, I would get a lot more done. But I have 3 children and a full-time job, so I can't. Oh, my wife's just started a business too, so that kind of time-consuming as well. Yeah, I know what you mean. I love like Bevan Bricks as well. Is he does some great tutorials. He's a really good sharer of what he does. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next, actually, because I'm sort of torn between carrying on building the Ninjago area or something I've been wanting to do for ages is actually build my own version of the Sanctum Sanctorium, which no one else has done. How long does it take to make? Sorry, digressing. How long does it take to make a tutorial in LDD? I have never done it, and like to be perfectly honest, I've got so many other bits of software I need to learn to use for work at the moment. But this is looking cute. I'm actually amazed how awake I am, given I had a really bad night's sleep last night, thanks to my kids. No, like the mock tutorial is fine. Actually doing the actually making the LDD file, the software tutorial bit of it, because I've made a couple of tutorials, but I've never actually done a file to go with it. I get what you meant, Mockbrick. You meant like using other people's tutorial and like building their mock and putting it in my city and mentioning that I've used it. I'm all for that, definitely, 100%. I think that's a good idea. It's just a matter of choosing which one of the many great mocks out there to build. Oh, missed a piece. One. Oh, 2 of those. One thing I really love with the Ninjago stuff on the whole is the way it sort of mixes old and new together so well. I think that's one of the things that I find really super appealing about the theme as a whole. Oh, I think I might have done a boo-boo. No, that one's right. No, that's all right. No. Seem to be missing a piece. Hang on. What have we done? Is it in there? Talking and building. Ah, right. I see. Okay, it wasn't that bad. There should have been 2 of those, not 1 of those. And now it's on the floor somewhere. There we go. Sorted. That was easy. That was an easy fix. JC, how are you? Well, yeah, but I don't know. I have heard a couple of people complaining about them being, you know, a bit too simple at times. Actually, I was talking about your market stalls earlier on, because I said I'm going to add some market stalls into part of my city. So I said I had actually looked at your tutorials and probably will build one of those. JC is a professional showman. He snuck in there, didn't he? Oh dear. He's taken the mick out of me, but he gave up building this set because he couldn't. I gotta love the stick. Actually, there's some techniques you'd enjoy in this one, JC. Hang on, I'll show you what I just built. Which was, yeah, building the sideways window there. So that's on a one of those ones where it's on a angle like that, so it fits in there perfectly just with some plates on the top and then sealed in. Nice way of doing sideways windows. I think they do that on some of the train sets as well. They create the train sets. Well, you have said that before, that she builds a lot of the sets for you. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, was I? Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I love it. Everyone's very supportive of each other. Now, I've only ever seen like one bit of not niceness in the Lego community, and that was like a bunch of the bigger YouTubers in the States. I don't really understand what had happened, but from what I can tell, there was one YouTuber who they all decided basically just ripped off other people's work, and they basically went to town on him, and he ended up shutting down his channel. So I don't know the full story there. I don't know anything about his background, but that's the only time I've really seen it. Everyone's really good at even shutting down any trolls that come in, which is really good as well. Although that being said, YouTube's latest algorithm changes seem to have made trolling quite hard, which is good. She's just a bit camera shy, is she? So she builds it, you take claim for it, and then that's cool. Fireplace. Nicely done. Or rather the furnace. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. So getting some quite good detail in there. Got the anvil, the furnace. He's got his coffee cup over there as well. It's good to see back in these days they had they still had Lego cups. This was the other one. You weren't here when I showed it earlier on. The market's really nice. I like the way that's done. With the same roof technique they did on the Destiny's Bounty. There's 2 hidden crates in there as well. For anyone that's interested, hidden crates in the roof. Don't tell anyone. Uh-oh, sticker time. Ugh. Everybody look away. Hey, I'm pleased this is a set. The stickers actually came not folded. Had that a few times recently. Oh, beautiful. It's a nice sticker. Yeah, coming along nicely. I like it. I'm really enjoying this build. This is a really good set. Have you got this set, JC? Don't remember seeing this in your city. I really like the Ninjago theme on a whole. I was saying this earlier on. I think it's so good. Like the mix of, like the way it mixes sort of old and new style, I think works really, really well. Oh no, another sticker. 2 stickers, no. Oh, it's a tricky one. Haven't seen your Highlands for so long, I've forgotten. Are you going to do a video of that one, like you did with your city? I've got the monastery to build as well. You know, the new monastery set. Again, I hadn't planned to buy it. Well, I had planned to buy it, but not yet. And then someone had it on an insane deal. So I'm like, well, I might as well get it now. Ready for the future. Can always sell it if I need to. Ooh, missed a vital part there. Hang on, let me go back a step. Yeah, it definitely needs. I really like it, but it needs. Yeah, it needs a bit of either beefing up or shrinking slightly. So, yeah, we'll decide what and how to do that. Oh, I completely missed a part. Haha. Oh, that was strange. Sorry, I forgot to put those columns in. Sorry me. There we go. I think that was it. Couple of swords left. That's it. Yeah, so that's the ground floor done. Liking that. I think that's really nice. What a beautiful set. Right, next bag. finally, after weeks and weeks, or probably months actually, of my train line not actually working, I finally got the loop running again. So next time I do a city update, I can do my trains running. Yay! Which means I can include my new train running. Yay! I love Lego trains. Yeah, it's funny how some colours go together so well that you just wouldn't think go together well. Big pieces in there. Build a tree. Yeah, I ordered a load of parts on yeah, you don't get into trains. I actually picked up an old one recently, which over here, so when it was out, it was like $150 train, and then on eBay, or eBay and Facebook Marketplace, amongst others, whenever it comes up, it's like $190, $200 minimum for just the train. And I found someone who had put it up on Marketplace under the wrong category, luckily, and it was $150 with a load of extra track as well. So it's like sort of, you know, $150 plus 2 track packs. So that's what, $200 for $150 for a set that normally is selling for $190 plus on eBay and Facebook. So it's pretty happy with that, and it's one of my favorite trains. The what number is it? I've forgotten the number. The 7938 train, the red brick built train from a few years back. I think that's a magnificent train. I think that was one of the best trains Lego's done in the city line for sure. I've actually come to the conclusion that a lot of the Friends sets are sort of undervalued. I think there's some really good stuff in the Friends line. I actually did buy a Friends set the other day in a sale to use in my city. The Emma's Art House, I think it was called. I thought it was a really good set. So some great pieces, great shape. Really hate the minifigures in it, but we don't have to use those. I kind of come under the category of people who is slightly annoyed that Lego felt they had to release a line of sets just for girls, but at the same time they'd obviously done their market research to tell them that they should release a line of Lego for girls. So I must say, I've got a friend who has a daughter, and she is livid about the fact that they released a Lego Lego girls line. As it goes, she's more into the creative stuff anyway, so. I can imagine. I've actually got my daughter, my younger daughter. She's my middle daughter. I hate calling her middle daughter. I think it's an awful description for it, but she's my middle daughter, and I got her the I got her the horse set, not the big one. Like there's one that was just like a horse and a rabbit and some other stuff. And she's going to absolutely love it because she loves animals. She's just going to fucking die. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry. She's just going to absolutely, yeah, she's just going to lose it when she sees it. I actually need to put some shelves in their bedroom so they can have any Lego I buy them in there. Otherwise, it just gets consumed into the city or onto my shelves, which doesn't seem right when I bought it for them. I'm not looking for this. That's what I'm looking for. Peace. Oh, 2 of those. One and that one. Dun, dun, dun. Thank goodness YouTube didn't stop my stream for slipping. I'm usually so good on that. What am I doing? Kaz Blockhead UK actually did something really good with the go-kart diner set, whatever it was called. She used that in a mock she did recently, which would look really, really cool. How are we doing? All right, so this is going to be the roof. Hang on. So this one here, they've got it tiling with quite hard to show black on black. So these are 1x4s and 2x4s, and then they've staggered the whole thing, so that makes the roof effect. It's pretty neat. That's what I said. That's what I said. Like Lego would have obviously done their focus groups to come to the realization that they should do it. And to be perfectly honest, it's not as bad as we make out. I just don't like the little doll things, but anyway. Right, what's next? So those. What time is it? No, I agree with you, JC. I've looked at quite a few of the sets, and I've only bought one for myself and one for Callie. But I can definitely, I definitely will be buying more in the future because I actually really like a lot of the colors they've used in it. I think are really brilliant, but not necessarily in the sets they're in. But I think they look really cool. God, I hope my Lego store never has these in stock. These rather cool star pieces. Oh, no, that's not the right place, is it? So there. That should have had one of those on it. There we go. Oof. That was almost a disaster. Ah, that's why. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, the drifting diner, that was the one she used. I was looking at that set. I think it's a really nice set. I can't find anyone with it though. I did find Mia's treehouse the other day, but I resisted. I'm like, no, don't need it. Don't need it. Actually, the The creator treehouse they launched not that long ago has actually become quite hard to find here in Australia. I don't know if it's going to like come back into the shops, but it was an exclusive for Target over here, and yeah, can only assume it's going to come back at some point. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So the roof is starting to take shape here. It's quite a nice build. That's a good light there. See the angles on it. That's just hinged. Liking this a lot. I don't know why, but I've always liked this piece. I don't know. I just like how different it is. I'm not. It's like, do you ever find that with a Lego piece where you just go, I just really like that one. I'm going to use that for something. Hey, Darkside Bricks. Hey, Douglas McBricken. How are you? You got the fire station. Woohoo! Fantastic set. A great build. Really, really enjoyed that one. One thing that really impressed me with that set was that Lego managed, or the Lego designer managed, to not make it a monotonous build, which it so easily could have been, because there's a lot of repetitive bits. I think the ground floor was actually the most boring build, but when you get onto the upper levels, it's really good. I've got it in pride of place in my upper level of my city, so I can still open it as well, which I think is really important. I actually could do with dusting my city, which terrifies me. Partly because I can't get to part of it still. I'm going to have to clean that up. Yeah, so I'm really torn between like doing some more Ninjago stuff or working on my Sanctum Sanctorium mock. I've been itching to build that set. Actually, what I could do is build the set, then do some more Ninjago stuff, and then come back and do the mock afterwards. That might be a good idea. Could be a good way to do it. Then I get the best of both worlds. There you go. I've answered my own question, I think. So the new Avengers sets, is anyone going to get any of those? I think I am absolutely 100% going to get the Hall of Armor, because I absolutely love Iron Man. Oh, Mr. Page again. Silly me. Luckily, it didn't impact anything. There. I think the only thing with this set that I'm not keen on is the fact that the theatre bit of it is sort of tucked away around the back, because you can't really see it. That being said, the position I want to use it in my city, I will be able to see it quite clearly, but I just think it was in the wrong place, personally. I'm sure there's a reason they put it where they did, but I've got a new train as well. I need to get the what have I missed here? You don't have a problem till you hit 20. Wait, you've got 20 trains? I actually got a because it was on a stupid sale somewhere, a second Hogwarts Express the other day. And the reason I got it was because the parts in it will go into building. I'll be building a second carriage, but I'm actually going to be building a second carriage in the style of the Emerald Knight train. So, you know, for those that don't know, they're a bit more sort of detailed. And then I like that. I was as well, but yeah, like you, I wasn't quite sold on it 100%. It was a really neat idea though. Yeah, sorry, and then I've got all the parts to actually go and do my own train as well. So I'm doing some research on a couple of other trains to build. So yeah, my Hogwarts will get upgraded. So the carriages will be upgraded to be sort of Emerald Knight style, more detailed carriages. And then the parts from the other Hogwarts set will then go into actually making me build another train. So that was why I did it. I wanted to do it. I was going to do it anyway because it was actually a really cheap way to get train parts and to get the parts I needed to actually build what I wanted to build. So yeah, so now I just have to research what train I want to build. I've got a few ideas in mind, and apparently one of the biggest tips if you're going to build your own train, make sure it's not green, because apparently green pieces are really expensive thanks to the Emerald Knight. Yeah, my Harry Potter, my Hogwarts Express is motorized with the Bluetooth system from my second what's it called? 60 I've forgotten the number. The 60197 trains. Yeah, because I had two of those and I only used one of the motors. So the second motor is in my Hogwarts Express. And I have to say, when that Bluetooth system comes out to buy independently, I can't recommend it enough. It's so much better than the old IR system. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm not going to do the Emerald Knight trains are carriages are 28, so they're longer base than this. I'm going to use this because I've got this. I ordered another one of these from Bricklink, but in the black. So I'm going to use that length because then it's the same length as my city trains, which I think will make sense. And it doesn't need to be that, that extra 4 doesn't really make a big difference. And given the size of my city, actually that extra 4 does make a difference because it makes it a bit like suddenly it starts to take over a bit too much space in the city. So yeah, I've gone with the smaller size. not a lot smaller. It's 4 windows instead of 5, basically. It's the only difference. I don't think that's a problem because the actual Harry Potter trains are 4 windows. So actually, who's the channel I was watching earlier on? I don't know if any of you, anyone here who's into trains, you might not have found his channel, but if you haven't, Smith Movies. Hang on, I'll put the link in there. He does some absolutely fantastic train stuff. There we go. Yeah, this guy, he is awesome. Recommend him if you're into trains. There's a few that do them as well. I'm torn between a blue train and possibly even a grey, like a light grey train. Akin to being a silver train, but not really a silver train. So I thought that might be a nice thing to do. Incidentally, while I'm talking, the blacksmith's coming along very, very nicely. It's awesome. Well, this set is as good as I hoped it would be, and I haven't even gotten to the temple yet. But yeah, Smith Movies. I was watching a couple of his videos earlier on. He's really good because he shares a lot of his like build techniques and things. So he's doing a project at the moment where he's showing you how he's building a little station scene, which is really cool, which I'm enjoying because I'm about to build a my train station finally, which was another reason I got the second Harry Potter set, so I had more parts to build the station with. Although that being said, I might not use those parts for the train station. Now I've done that. All right, how does this go together? Like that. There we are. Blacksmith starting to look like a blacksmith. Now I've just got to do the tree. Guys, I'm going to say I'm really glad I did this stream. It's been a good chat. Thank you. Like I said, I wasn't planning to do a stream, but I just wanted to test my new camera and see who was around, and I'm glad I did. So thank you for making it a good stream. Hey Ben Bricks, how are you? There we go. Okay, tree number 1. There. Oh, there was a set that was where that went. Thought so. Yeah. So you weren't here when I was talking earlier on. So hang on, I'll do my tour again. So over on this side of my city is my Ninjago area. So you can see I've got the city over here. Where's my finger? I've got the city, and then I've got my bridge here. So I've been doing some work under the bridge there that you can probably just about see. So that's going to be a market under there, and then the city docks is going over there, and then behind there is going to be like a little street scene, and then a mountain behind it, and the temple is going to go on top of the mountain. Is my plan. So with like, but I'm going to separate it out as well. So I'm going to have like the temple will be its own thing. I'll keep this feature around it, but then I'm going to take these 2 side buildings out and build a couple more, and have like a couple of villages on the mountainside. That's my plan. It's a good plan. I just got today, because I got really fed up with I was using my SLR hooked up to my computer, and the way you got that to work was using 2 pieces of software that basically let the computer connect to the camera and use it as a webcam, which was really painful. It didn't work. I had to restart my computer 3 times last time I did a stream, which was annoying. So today I'd been researching what camera to get, and basically the one that usually came out was the Logitech C920 or 922, and this is the C922, because here in Australia it was like I think it ended up being, someone had the 22 on sale, so it ended up being like $10 more to buy the much better camera, or the more modern, not much better, the more up-to-date version of the camera. So yeah, this is the Logitech 922, which is a great camera. From what I read, there's not that much different between this one and that one. Like, I think there's a couple of I think they've improved the light metering in it, from what I can tell. It's got the faster frame rate at the 720, but I was watching a review of that mode earlier on, and the guy was just panning it, because actually it's not a proper 60 frames a second. What they've actually done is cheated and added in like a mode to soften the image to make it look like it's a 720 image, but actually it's not quite. It's actually been reduced so they can put more through it. So I'm not bothered about that. I wasn't bothered about that. I just got it because every review I read of it said it was good. Yeah, and I was looking for the 920 because I thought it would be a bit cheaper, but actually it ended up costing me $10 more to buy the 22. So yeah, this is the mic from the Logitech. It's got dual mics, so it's not as good as a proper microphone, I appreciate, but I will get that next when I start doing more well, I want to get a new, I was talking to JC about this recently anyway. I do want to get a proper mic at some point. That being said, I think the mic that's in my point and shoot camera I usually do my videos on is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely good. I'm not complaining. I'm not going to rush to replace it, but one day I will replace it. When I see a good deal on a mic that I want, I will replace it, but I don't need to do that until that point. I think I missed out the tile again. There. Where are we up to? So I've got the first tree on there now. Doing the second tree. But yeah, I got caught out last week by I hadn't realized they changed the rules around using a mobile phone. So I'm like, oh no, I've got to use my SLR to do it. And then my SLR just was not playing ball. Or rather, the 2 pieces of software I had to use to do the stream weren't playing ball. So I got really frustrated. I had to restart my computer twice, and then the stream died at one point, and it's just really annoying. So one question, has anyone used, when you're doing the stream, actually I think I'm just going to do my streams as Hangouts, because the Hangouts stuff is so much more resilient to any problems. The YouTube stuff seems to fall over really easily. So I think I'm just gonna use Google Hangouts in the future. But I was going to say, does anyone use the like set up a stream option and do it that way? I mean, it seems like a lot of work, but at the same time, it probably is the best way to do it. I did that wrong. I didn't know it's right. Trees. Really, really loving this. What's the next part of the build? They give you a good number of spare parts in this set as well. Plants are always useful. I think that is one blacksmith completed. That is stunning. They're both stunning. I like both of those builds. I think they both look absolutely awesome. Yeah, this set is as good as it looks on the box. So if anyone's like thinking of picking this one up somewhere, sees it in a deal, I recommend it already, and I haven't even gotten to the coolest part yet. What's the next bit of the build? Oh, the next bit's the temple. I'm not going to start that one. I'm going to start the temple tomorrow. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow, guys. So it's quite late. I should probably go to bed because I do have things to do in the morning, and I don't want to be too cranky. Yeah, see you, Douglas. I'm going to do the same. Where are you, Douglas? Sorry, I've asked you this before, but and if you like the light brick, the way the light brick works in the hospital set is absolutely brilliant. Great use for the light brick, where they did it so it does the X-ray. Yeah, no, Douglas is in. Yeah, there you go, Melbourne. Yeah, he's in. I knew he was in Australia. I just didn't know whereabouts in Australia. I'm in Australia too, so I'm in Sydney. So, which is better than Melbourne? Oh, went there. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for joining me in my camera test that turned into a really good stream. We're on the complete opposite side of the planet to you, but we're practically neighbors. We live within 9 hours drive of each other. Which really puts Australia in perspective. Being from England, like, you can drive the length of England in like 7 or 8 hours, and to drive to the next major city takes 9 hours in Australia. So there you go. That gives you some perspective of scale. I'll do one. So I'll do it tomorrow. I usually do one on a Saturday night, so I'll do a stream tomorrow night. I might try and do some other work in between. I was going to do some work on my on one of my trains. I wanted to do a little. I've been doing a lot of sort of bigger builds and tinkering and things. I actually wanted to just upgrade one of my trains and add a bit more. Oh, you're doing a dad stream tomorrow night? Yeah. What time? You're about 1 o'clock my time, I think. So yeah, I'll do mine about 11. So I won't interfere with your stream. Oh, that's true. London traffic, and you get like slugged with the congestion charge as well. Is it butt pasta or pasta butt? I mean, it's a serious question. It changes the entire recipe for the stream. Brick butt? So hey, I actually think it's really good they're trying to keep cars out of the city, but you need good alternatives. Anyway, I want to buy a new car. Like petrol cars are so much cheaper. I can't afford to buy the electric cars, and the amount I drive, it would take so long for me to actually save money with an electric car. It's not worth it. I'm sure in 5 years, when everything's gone electric properly and my car's values tanked, I will have wished I'd bought an electric car then. But an e-Golf, is that what you drive around a golf course with? Yeah, and again, it's only worth doing if you've got solar panels on your house. And I rent, so when I eventually buy my own house, I will put solar panels on it for absolute sure, because there's so much power in this city, in this country for that. Like, I love the one of the politicians who's like sponsored by the coal companies and stuff like that. It's the only way he would ever say the rubbish that comes out of his mouth. But probably going to get deported now and get my citizenship cancelled. But he made a big deal about wind turbines being, everyone hates them. There'll be so many complaints. He set up this whole like thing for monitoring and handling complaints. And since he did it, which was like 2 or 3 years ago, there's been 8 complaints in total, and 3 of those were for noise. That was it. So 8 complaints in 3 years about wind thing, and that's it. So anyway, I'm going to go as well. I'm going to go to bed because it's late, and I will be doing another stream tomorrow night if anyone's around and wants to join me. Before the butt pasta dad stream. Sorry. What's funny though? Yeah, and in Australia, there's so much solar power. It's ridiculous. Ironically, Elon Musk saved Australia. Hey, Brick Ostrich Studio. We were actually just sort of saying goodbye because it's my bedtime, because it is 12:30 at night. So I should probably go to bed. What was I going to say? Yeah, there was a thing in South Australia where South Australia uses the most renewable energy out of any state. And they had an issue where something happened and they were like, oh no, green energy, that causes all kinds of problems. And Elon Musk installed that massive battery farm with the government, or with the state government. And then recently there was a massive power surge that wiped out like half the grid. And Elon Musk's battery system was basically online within milliseconds of that happening. And the coal power stations and all like the fossil fuel ones actually took, I don't think they all came up. Something went wrong and they couldn't restore power. But the battery and renewable stuff was all working perfectly and actually brought the grid back up. So anyway, on that note, I've toted my bit about green power. Thank you for joining me in my accidental stream. It seems like lots of people are now coming online now. We're saying goodbye, so I'm sorry about that one, but I was actually only on here to test my new camera, and I'm happy with my new camera, everybody. Yay. Mission accomplished. I'll see you tomorrow. Anyone who wants to join me, and have a great day, have a great evening, have a great everything, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for watching. And yeah, Robin, I'm with you on the Brexit thing. It's all stupid. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. See you around.